My dear friends, I hope this finds you well once again. Last week, sitting in this very same spot with Tsuki. What are you doing, buddy? I don't know what he's eating. With Tsuki, I spoke about how I shared a Thanksgiving Dvar Torah, while unbeknownst to me, it wasn't actually Thanksgiving. So I thought that today, being it is Thursday here in Australia, the last Thursday in November, and it will be Thanksgiving shortly, in America, it is an appropriate time, even though we are in Australia, to speak a bit about Thanksgiving, because I do think that it is appropriate and has some meaningful messages for all of us. Everyone might be aware that in recent history, there has been all these questions raised as to whether or not we should still be observing Thanksgiving, when, of course, the truth of the history of the settlers when they came to America is maybe not as simple as our textbooks in elementary school would have told us. And in truth, those coming from Europe were quite brutal to the Native American population and did some terrible things. And in many ways, the gifts that they brought were diseases and violence. And so, should we really be celebrating such a festival when it is so wrought with difficulty? And I think we should, but I also think that Thanksgiving should give us an opportunity to be more conscious and more knowledgeable about the history. And the same thing can be applied here in Australia. We should be grateful, as Jews especially, but everybody really, we should be grateful to what Australia has given us. It is not perfect. By no means is it perfect today, nor was it in the past. And Australia has its own dirty laundry in terms of the way in which it has treated its indigenous population and the horrors that have been committed to those to the first peoples here. So we need to be cognizant of the past, but still grateful and give thanks in the future. And so I do celebrate Thanksgiving in a sense of I give gratitude to God. I give gratitude to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that I was raised in America at the time that I was, and my family and has been anyways blessed because of our experiences in America. And the same goes for Jews here in Australia. We should be very grateful to that and give thanks, and I give thanks to God of the many things that I give thanks to God on Thanksgiving. But we also need to use these, a day like this, an Australia Day and its complexity, we need to use these as opportunities to become more knowledgeable, to become more sensitive to the plight of the first peoples, and be allies and think about what we can do to ensure that their legacy and their past, but also their future, is ensured and is protected. So I'm thankful today. And I think, I look at it the same way as I look at myself, Am I perfect? Definitely not. Have I made mistakes? Definitely not. But, that was a Freudian slip. Definitely I have made mistakes in my life. But in this moment right now, of all the complexity of who I am coming to this space, I'm thankful for my life. I'm grateful for my life. And I'm thankful for all the blessings that I have. So we hold this space. We don't ignore the past and the difficulties of the past. We allow them to make us more sensitive and more knowledgeable and more caring and more empathetic. But we are also thankful in the present for what we have and for the blessings that we are surrounded with. And so with that, I wish you all, those of you who are celebrating here and near and far, wish you a happy Thanksgiving and a Shabbat Shalom.